So Pokemon investing and this crossroad with scalping and whether or not Pokemon investing is scalping. And this conversation is one that probably needs to be had because number one, it is an interesting topic. And number two, I think it is quite disingenuous. And I want to kind of take you through that in this video to kind of put Pokemon investing and scalping on the same level. And one of the issues that I find with this, and when people say, oh, Pokemon investing, you scalp, or you scalp products. We can't get products because people like yourself or people that like to invest in collectibles, they're scalpers. You guys are the reason why we can't get Pokemon 151, etc, etc, etc. And I want to kind of walk you through that in today's video and tell you why that's not true and why it can be quite easy to sometimes get slightly sucked in, slightly taken by community sentiment and just by listening to things online, but you're not actually getting the real facts. So also guys, I just want to say, if this is your first time tuning in, my name is Phil. I'm a marketing professional and now I run this Pokemon investing YouTube channel. So please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you on board. I cover a lot of topics relating to Pokemon collecting, investing, and general TCG updates. And it's always great to see new faces on the channel. Pokemon investing as a whole and Pokemon collecting and investing in collectibles and memorabilia and things like that, been around for a very long time, okay? So it's not just Pokemon, it's not just card collecting, there's a lot of other areas whether it's music, whether it's video game collecting, there is a huge scene for collectibles, right? I mean, we can even see this with, Netflix and their show, King of Collectibles. How many people love investing in collectibles? It's a very, very common thing with, millions of people across the world doing it. So it's not something that's anything new. It's not something that's just isolated to Pokemon. It is a worldwide phenomenon. But this is where I want to take you through in a little bit of a journey of why investing in Pokemon and scalping are very, very different. And in fact, I would say Pokemon investing is the actual opposite, the complete antithesis. When and a lot of people in the community who invest in collectibles and how it kind of generally works. Scalping is more like what happened with the PS5, like when no one could get PS5s on release because all these people were buying them up in truckloads and they were buying out the products so no one could actually get them, and then they'll be selling them at a profit very quickly. They'll be flipping them very quickly. Pokemon investing is very different. If I were to take you through a journey of how Pokemon investing works, right? Pokemon investing is strategically buying products at the lowest point that you think you can possibly buy them and then holding onto them for a long time and selling them well into the future. So if you're very skilled in the game, I myself would never buy a product. Like for example, if I saw something like Surging Spark release and it's already selling for double the price, I would never buy that. I don't care if I missed out. That is not Pokemon investing. That is just buying into FOMO. What is much more, and like I'll just give you a really realistic example right now. Like I'm looking at something like Scarlet and Violet base set right now. That is kind of just in the shadows right now. No one's looking at it. It's been nearly 2 years. It's kind of quiet. No one's saying anything about it. A lot of people have had time to buy the product. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh, is this a good time to buy this product? And I'm looking, hey, Black Friday's coming up. Maybe if I get a good Black Friday sale, I might buy a few of these booster boxes and I'll get these well below retail price and I'm getting them at a very quiet point in the market. That is the key with Pokemon investing. Scalping is buying the products as soon as they release. It is very different. Investing, and if you have some sort of skills in investing in collectibles, it's buying them at the quiet period, not when it is raging, not when the whole world is like, wow, this is a good set. It's seeing it before that spike happens. And I'm gonna go take you through some realistic examples of the key art of investing in collectibles. So the kind of reason why this video came about is because I did see a comment on my video and it said, oh, I wanna buy Pokemon 151 but not pay scalper prices. And I kind of laughed at that because Pokemon 151, and I'm gonna actually take you through a journey and a realistic example of that is, Pokemon 151, maybe it is being scalped now, okay? But that is a long time after its release, and it's because now everyone saw it. But if a lot of people in this space, a lot of people who invest in collectibles already knew that Pokemon 151 would get to this point, given how successful of a collectible it is, right? So I'm gonna take you through a real example of that, right? When I saw that comment and saying, oh, I don't want to pay scalper prices for 151. So in February 28th this year, 2024, I made a video saying the 4 reasons why I think Pokemon 151 is a gold mine. When I made this video earlier this year, Pokemon 151, you could have bought it anywhere. You could have probably even bought it under retail price. It was very abundant. It was available at every store, whether you went to local card stores. No one was really struggling to get 151 in February this year, guaranteed. And I'm going to even take you through that, right? So if we look here, and we go here and we go February 28 when that video was made, right? So here's February 20 to 26. It was $54 for a Pokemon 151 ETB. As you can see here, that price never really went anywhere for a long time. It wasn't until around May that it started rising. Now, mind you, Pokemon 151 was already available for 6 months at that point. So that was kind of when I was thinking, oh, it might be a good time to buy Pokemon 151 because I could see the potential it had as an investment. So I personally purchased Pokemon 151 in February of 2024. As you can see, I don't think at any point in time was my purchase putting any scalping or any kind of problems with people getting product. It was actually waiting until the kind of dust settled. Same with the Pokemon 151 UPC. You can see here in February, it was sitting at around $103. If you go in April, it was sitting at $106. There was really no kind of movement in the pricing for a long time. It didn't start rising all the way until May this year. The key with investing in collectibles and investing in memorabilia is not about buying them at their hype period. If you are doing that, you're not doing Pokemon investing well, and you're not investing in memorabilia well. The key is to find the times in the market when it's quiet. So I'm just thinking right now, and I want to just take you through it. Like I said before, Scarlet and Violet base, I think that is in a very quiet position right now. If I go Scarlet and Violet base and TCG player right now, I'm on the year graph. As you can see, just from looking at it right now, this has not moved at all. Mind you, this set is now over a year and a half old. So you can see, if I buy this right now for $92 USD, that is quite a good price to buy it right now. Whether that starts rising in the future, then people say, oh, I can't get Scarlet and Violet base because it's been scalped. Did it really get scalped, or did people just buy it and then you didn't act on it quick enough? That's the problem. When Pokemon 151 and everyone's now complaining that they can't get their hands on the product, the truth is you really could have got a lot of Pokemon 151 earlier this year. There was a huge time window for you to buy it. Now, unfortunately, if you did come into the hobby just recently, yes, you unfortunately probably cannot buy Pokemon 151 at the moment. But we've all kind of been there as well. Like when I got into the hobby, I really wanted to buy Cosmic Eclipse, but it was already like $600-700 for a booster box. So to me, it was just like, that's way out of budget, right? So, these things do happen, but the key is there's going to be another Pokemon 151, right? There's going to be another Evolving Skies. There's going to be another Fusion Strike. There's going to be another Chilling Reign. So another example of this, which I think is actually a pretty cool booster box, is Paradox Rift. So Paradox Rift came out November last year. So if I'm buying Paradox Rift today, I'm strategically buying this when it is a quiet period. So as you can see, I'm on Paradox Rift right here. And as you can see, it hasn't had that much movement. If you can see here, November last year was selling for 89 USD. And right now it's selling for 103 USD. If I were to buy Paradox Rift right now, which I'm not, but I'm just saying if I were, am I buying that at a very expensive price? Am I making people not be able to get the product? Absolutely not, because the game of investing in collectibles is finding the quiet period. It's finding the downtime. It's finding the time when people are not acting. So it's the complete opposite of scalping. In fact, scalping and Pokemon investing are very two different. The people that are buying it and trying to flip, they're scalpers. When I buy my products, right, I'm actually buying it for a very long time hold. So if I were to buy Scarlet and Violet base right now at 92 USD, I would not be selling that at least for 10 to 15 years. So my purchase was strategic and placed when the time was quiet. So it's just important to know, when people say these things or when they say Pokemon investing and scalping, there might be some crossroads between the two, but I could just say, and generally anyone that's doing it, no one is going to be buying products. If I can see, did I buy Pokemon Japanese 151 last year when it released? No. So, and I actually don't invest in products if they start booming way too strong out of the gate. So for example, Japanese 151 last year was selling for like 180 USD straight out of the floodgates, man. Like as soon as it released, it was selling for 180 USD. I never bought Japanese 151 last year. I looked at that and I said, that is crazy. I'm not paying those prices, right? When did I buy Japanese 151? When the reprint happened this year. And I think I bought it for something like 60 USD a box. That is the difference. There is a very big difference between buying products when they're released and buying products and waiting for them at the right time. And you know, I do explain this in a lot of videos, and there is a big question. A lot of people go, when is the right time to buy a Pokemon product? And I actually do answer that in this video right here. Within this video, I cover the 4 Pokemon investing pro tips, and I look over the best times to buy products. Pokemon investing is an interesting hobby, but don't forget it is a hobby and you got to enjoy it as well. So if you want to look at some cool tips in that video, click that video on screen and I'll see you there.